Good morning, welcome to Praxis Living. My name is Edward James Carey, and this is session 12 of my $1 million journey. Today is Monday, August 14th, 2023. We're at the beginning of a brand new week. I have a brand new strategy, which I'm about to employ this week. Even the music that I've chosen from Harris Heller Stream Beats today fits into alignment with this week's strategy. I will explain a little bit more on what that strategy is in just a few minutes. So stay tuned. We're just 3 minutes away from market opening, and I will get into what the plan for the week is. You're not going to want to miss this. All right, I am back. We are at the beginning of a new market open for a new week. Let's go to the market screen here, and let's have a quick look here. AI shares are opening lower today than the close on Friday. They are already down 1.64% in the pre-market. And AI is not the only one today. All things, as far as I can see, are down from Friday's open. Look at Tesla, down 2.87%. But I am going to be continuing my journey playing with the AI sandbox, and the plan of this week is for me to begin freeing my captive dollars from the hands of the market. As you can see, I have 1,429 shares of AI currently being held, and I have a list of all of the valuations here that I bought in all those positions in the market. And today I am going to be concentrating on this lot of shares right here that I purchased for 100 shares at $35.46 each. Now, I am going to be focusing all of my time and attention and energy this week, specifically today, on what is called dollar cost averaging my way out of some of these positions so that I can begin to free up some of my capital and acquire some more authority and power in my trading decisions today. So let us begin by watching the early moments of today's market. Shares of AI opened with a small drop, and now it looks like they are on an upward rally. So one of two things is going to happen. I am going to either begin dollar cost averaging my way out of positions to regain capital, or the market is just simply going to turn around and begin climbing up. But I am not waiting on that. I am going to take some of this matter into my own hands, and I am going to begin actively dollar cost averaging my way out of some shares in order to regain some capital. So, how is that going to work? Step number one is we can see that I have a current trade balance of $86 US. That is enough to purchase approximately 2 shares of AI. And what I'm going to do is I'm specifically going to wait for a market low. So I am likely going to pass on any early morning activity trying to capitalize in market swings like I normally would in the morning. And I am simply going to wait for the first hour of the day and try to see where the market is going. The market may go up, and I may not have to concern myself with this strategy at all. Or if it continues to act and behave normally like a typical day, then I know that after a little while of whatever goes on in the morning, it is going to start dropping around 7:15, 7:30, and likely drop and continue all the way through till 9:30, a quarter to 10, maybe even 10:30 at some point in the day. And at that time, I will be looking to engage my capital, my limited capital, in order to catch 1 or 2 shares of AI at the lowest possible price that I can get, with the expectation that it will start to begin to climb again. But I will add in 1 or 2 shares of what I've previously purchased AI at $35.46 to the mix. I will then dollar cost average my position across all 3 shares or all 4 shares, and then I will mark a line on the screen with the minimum price that I need to break even on all 3 shares or all 4 shares. And then I will patiently wait and sell off all 3 or 4 shares at or above that price, regaining the capital of one of my extra shares. And then I will expand the process and keep recycling. So that is a loose idea of the plan. When we get to enacting it, you will be able to see firsthand of exactly what that looks like. So I can see today that shares of AI opened with a little bit of a drop, and then they tried to make an upward run, and now they are undecided right around the $32.61 level. So very, very early in the day. I am not planning on doing anything right now. I need to make sure that I do not make a mistake with the remaining capital that I have left, and I need to get the best cost on the 1 or 2 shares that I intend to pick up in order to employ my strategy. Let's have a look at a couple of other things in the market. Let's go to AMD. AMD opened up today with a little bit of a drop as well, then an upward rally, and now is on its way down again. We are at 106.14. How is Tesla doing today? Tesla opened with not much activity from what it looks like. And they are already going sideways right around their $234 position. This is the lowest price that I've seen in Tesla in quite a while. It was only just within the last 2 to 3 weeks that a good buy-in on Tesla looked like it was around $268. And that was right around back over here. But now, that's a 3-month chart, and I don't see a lot of hovering around 268. It was right in here that it looked like 268 was potentially a good share value. But as you can see, today's market is 234.78. It's a good thing I did not buy shares of Tesla. I'm glad that I missed this crash on Tesla. So, shares of AMD dropping down again. Shares of AI continuing what looks like a slow drop today. All right, so I've explained what the plan of action is for the day. I'm going to take a break now just to give the market some time to sort itself out for the day, and then I will return and we will get into the meat and potatoes of today's session of my $1 million journey. Stay tuned. I will be back shortly. So on the weekend, when I was looking through Streambeats music from Harris Heller, looking for new music to consider adding into the backgrounds of my videos, I came across one particular album that really resonated with me in light of what's gone on last week, and it is called Sakura Dreams. When I was listening to it, I could see by the titles of the songs, it has a very Bushido vibe. Bushido meaning way of the warrior. And it just kind of seemed to gel. This is the music that we're listening to right now, Sakura Dreams. And I just wanted to run it in today's video just to set up the theme for this week, which is going to be me actively recapturing my hostage dollars in depreciated or inflated shares of AI that I bought on the way down. I'm looking at the markets for today, and we can clearly see that shares of AI, they are seesawing up and down again, and they're not making a lot of gain overall. It looks like they're on a slight upward trend, but overall not really making tremendous strides in an upward direction, but also not crashing down, which is a kind of a good sign. this whole crashing down for the past 5 to 10 days has been very agitating, very tree shaking. It's like everyone who's not seriously committed to this venture, get the hell out of the markets and let us who know what the hell we're doing continue to do what we're doing. So again, we are waiting for one of two things to happen. We are waiting for either the market to continue its upward trend. Looks like it might be trying to break away right now. In fact, an upward trend to where we get to the position where I can naturally sell off at least the first of my held orders in shares of AI, which happen to be right around, I believe, 35.46 is where I bought in. And if we check the activity on that, I've set a sell limit for 90 of those 100 shares at 36.35, just in case today's market activity happens to want to go up $3 to $4 per share. I've got that automatic sell limit in place. That being said, the other plan is to wait for a tremendous opportunity to buy 1 or 2 shares of AI as low as I can get them, and then take that cost of those 1 or 2 shares and then add the cost of one of my shares, or maybe even 2 shares, at 35.46, take the total cost of those 3 to 4 shares, divide it by the number of shares, and that will give me the dollar cost average per share. And then after that point, I can continue to observe the market in order to see if I can dollar cost average my way out of the position. Now, let me just demonstrate how this might work. So let's look at today's market. You can see here in the morning, shares of AI fell down to a cost of 32.05. So let's do kind of a test here on what this might look like. Let's pretend that I bought 2 shares at this morning's low of $32.05. And that equals $64.10. And then let's say that we add 1 share of what I paid $35.46 for. That equals a total of $99.56 for all 3 shares. Now, let's divide by 3. And we can see that the dollar cost average for all 3 shares would have come out to $33.19. Now, if you look over here right now at the current value of the market, you can see that it is over $33.19. And it was even higher today. It was up at $33.52. So I could have already freed 1 share with this new plan that I'm considering. I didn't do it because I didn't know which direction the market was going to go this morning. But as you can see, dollar cost averaging is an effective strategy to begin releasing capital that I currently have held in other trades. And that is exactly what I intend to do at some point today when I see a significant enough decline in share values today so that I can get a really good buy-in point on 1 or 2 shares. Now, historically, the markets seem to hit their lowest point at right around either 9:30 to 9:45 a.m. or 10:30 to 11 a.m. And as we can see, we are very, very early in the day. We are only at 7:29 a.m. So I just wanted to come back and share a little bit of the theme of this week, what the plan of action is going to be for this week. And I intend to slowly recapture more and more and more of my held shares through dollar cost averaging, just to begin getting back some capital so that I have some room to maneuver. Because right now, having enough cash on hand to afford 1 or 2 shares is not really an effective strategy to making money. And my current mission is to turn my $50,000 of capital into over $1 million by December 31st, 2023. And I'm not going to do that at the pace that I'm going this past week. So that's the plan. Stay tuned. I'm going to take a break. I think I'm going to go to the golfing range and hit a bucket of balls, and then maybe come back and check where we are at that time, around 8:30 to 9 o'clock maybe. I'll see you then. Okay, I am back to check the markets where we are at. It is now 10:27 a.m. We are at the time of day when share values are normally the lowest in the day. But as I can see here, shares of AI have gone up, up, up. They've slowly worked their way up to a high today of what looks like $33.74, and have only slightly come down. I don't know what to do with a market like today. I'm not quite sure what my play is going to be. If I purchase a share now and share values continue to slowly decline throughout the afternoon, I'm going to end up getting more capital held when I should be getting capital out. So that is not going to work. I'm not quite sure how to play this moment. So share values currently 33.46. Currently share values are on a downward trend, at least right now. Whether it's just going into a dip or whether it's going into a steady decline, we have yet to see. I still don't know. Now, this is interesting. Why do I have more money in my TFSA account? I have a little more than I thought. I can actually purchase 3 shares. Obviously, some kind of dividend hit my account today and gave me my TFSA a little bit more money to play with. So I actually have the ability to buy 3 shares of AI instead of 2 shares of AI. So that helps because it makes dollar cost averaging a little bit easier. Let me go with this. Let me slow down here. Let me start by purchasing 1 share of AI, because I really don't know what's going to happen here so far. So let me start working my way in. I purchased 1 share of AI at $33.50. Now, as I stated this morning, my goal today is not necessarily to make a lot of money. It's to start unlocking some of the capital that I currently have tied up in shares of AI that I've paid too much for. So I'm going to start with 1 share at $33.50. Now, if I take $33.50 and I add 1 share of AI at $35.46 and then divide by 2, that gives me a total cost of $34.48. So $34.48, I can begin by putting a line at $34.48 and then this line will represent a break-even point on 2 shares of dollar cost averaged AI, which means that when the share value increases to a minimum of $34.48, I can sell off both of these shares. Now, I'm not finished yet, by the way. I purchased one share for now to do two things. If the share value continues to crawl up in sort of an incline and in an increasing fashion, and I can make a few cents on one share of AI, then I will do that. I will take that as a win. And then I will wait to see if it drops lower. On the other hand, if shares start to tank throughout the afternoon, I still have cash in reserve to purchase as many as 2 more shares of AI. So let's look at this previous high of 33.65. We had a previous high of 33.65. I do not know whether the markets are trending up or down. This previous high back here was 33.63. So if I call a value of 33.65, let me take this one share of AI. I'm going to put it back on the market for 33.65. And if the value climbs up to 33.65, then I will earn 15 cents. Is it 15 cents? Yes, I will earn 15 cents on this one share of AI. On the other hand, if they decide to drop lower, I can purchase another share of AI to make my dollar cost averaging on the shares that I'm trying to get unlocked even easier to sell out. So this market did not do anything what I expected today. I expected to come in at 10:30 right here and see a very, very significant low point in the share values of AI so that I could purchase in. But that didn't happen today. So that's okay. We have a current play in motion, one share of AI at 33.50. I'll hold that for a little bit. I'm trying to average out, starting with just one of my other shares at 35.65. If I can unlock, if I can free 35.46, sorry. If I can free one captive share, that gives me an extra capital of $35.46 to play with. So that will be good. All right, that is all that I am doing for now. Stay tuned. I will be back soon. All right, I've been sitting here watching shares of AI do a consolidation and move literally sideways. Not a lot of movement up, not a lot of movement down. I saw this one drop here, down as low as 33.46. But you know, that is only 4 cents cheaper than the first share I already purchased at 33.50. So without more of a drop than that, I really don't want to add another share when the value is this high at 33.44. I know it looks like it's holding its value right now, moving sideways, but that can change really quick. And with the way that AI has been acting, I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to decline over the afternoon. And that's what I'm most concerned about. So I'm proceeding cautiously. I know that this is slow. This is very undramatic. I'm holding one share just as a test in order to see what the market wants to do. Let's go over and look at AMD while I'm here. AMD behaving the same way. It basically went up throughout the day, did a slow recession, but then started to proceed upward as high as 110.99. Now, we've still got a little ways to go before my shares of AMD get unlocked at 112.29. So we're still almost $2 full off on that value. So again, my hands are tied there currently. And those are the only two that I'm playing in the space of right now. So I will continue to watch and continue to wait and see what happens. All right, so as I keep my eye on the markets, I am watching and waiting to see if shares of AI want to drop below this previous low value here this morning of $33 I'm patiently waiting to see if the share values drop below this point to indicate that the trend is moving down, or whether it's just going to keep moving flat sideways. I know that this peak here, 33.61, is lower than this peak here of 33.65. So the high points are getting lower. I'm just waiting to see if the low points are also getting lower as well. And other than that, it is a very slow moving day today in volatility. I'm looking at the volume for the day, and we are only at 6 million shares at 11 o'clock. So our day has only 2 hours left to go, and we're only at a day volume of 6 million shares. That tells me that very, very few people are trading shares of AI. As I said in previous sessions, when I first started trading stocks in AI back in June, daily volume was about 50 million shares. So to go from 50 million volume down to 6 million volume, it indicates to me like the popularity and the love for AI is rapidly deteriorating. And I'm going to probably be best beginning to dollar cost average my way out of my positions in AI and move on to a healthier stock to trade, such as AMD. So I will be working on that plan for probably as long as it takes, I would imagine. But I know it's a slow beginning to start unlocking the captives of my held shares. But with each share that I successfully recover, my capital grows, and then I have more financial leverage to go after the next share, and the next share, and the next share. And pretty soon I'll be going for 5 shares at a time, 10 shares at a time, 25 shares at a time. It will gradually increase the momentum. I'm just not sure how long that process will take. In the meantime, today, again, I'm watching to see if shares recede below 33.33. I'm also waiting to see if shares exceed 33.65. So stay tuned. I will have more information soon. All right, so as I'm sitting here, I watch the share value of AI slowly work its way up to my sell limit that I had on my one share at $33.65. And since I'm here present, I decided to take the auto sell off and just ride things out just to see if it's going to continue to go higher. If I'm sitting here and it's going to continue to go higher, I may as well manually sell it off and try to get more than $33.65 out of the share. In any case, I'm still well above $33.50, and the volatility seems to be very, very slow today. So I think it's safe to sit here with the auto sell off and just see if I can get a few cents better price just selling manually. So that's all I'm doing so far. And again, with this very highly, highly limited volatility, there isn't even much sense in me adding more shares to try to dollar cost average my way out of a higher position, because the volatility isn't even moving past 33.65, and the lowest I'm going to get an extra share at 35.46 unlocked. Even if I was to pick up 2 more shares, it would probably only bring the dollar cost average down to still around $34 or $33.80. And considering that we can't even get past $33.60, there's not really even much point in doing that. So I'm sitting here waiting, playing the long, slow game today. And that is just the way the day seems to be going. Here we go, moving up again, 33.63. I may as well see if I can catch this sell order and add 15 cents to my trade balance. 15 cents is 15 cents after all. Holding flatlined at $33.63. Almost no volume coming in today. $33.64. $33.65. There we go again for the second time. At the limit that I would like to sell for to gain 15 cents on my share. Can I get a couple cents more higher on this? Let's see it push its way up to $33.70. See if I can get $33.70 out of this share. 20 cents on a share. 20 cents is pretty good considering the market is not doing anything. Oh, slipped back down. And I missed that sell. I'll wait it out again. And now it's now dancing around 33.65, it looks like, right around where I originally decided to sell it for. It seems to be dropping back down to 33.61, 33.62, and then back up to 33.65, 33.66. Very, very tight consolidation. Not a lot of movement on the values of the shares today. Sitting at 11:36 a.m. on a Monday. 6.3 million shares for the entire day over the past 5 hours. Again, this is almost as low as I have ever seen the volume since I started trading shares of AI back in June. So whatever is going on right now, globally, people are no longer interested in trading shares of AI, at least not today. Ooh, now we've gone right back below 33.60 again. So I've missed my window to currently get out of this share. I'm waiting out another cycle of a drop and then hopefully another climb back up. Okay, I think with what I'm observing in the market today, I will just change this sell limit to 33.70. And just leave it on automated sell for 33.70. I'll go for 20 cents on capital appreciation on this one single share of AI. And it looks like that's likely about all I'm going to be able to aim for today. Just earning 20 cents on one single share. Again, if I had done my morning ritual and tried to capitalize, well, actually, that may not have worked. There wasn't a lot of opportunity this morning that dropped below $32.05. I would have been sitting here waiting to see a lower point than 32.05. That never would have occurred. It would have went up. 33.23, it would have came back down again, 33.28. I would have just kept bouncing back and forth and likely not done anything in here. But the point was, had I caught this early morning low of 32.05 and purchased at least 2 shares, I could have then dollar cost averaged one of my shares at 35.46 out, and I would have been able to sell them around one of these peaks up here because it did cross the break-even point of 3 shares dollar cost average. But I missed out on that this morning. I can try again tomorrow morning, as long as I have capital to play with. And that remains to be seen as to whether or not I'm going to get out of this one share that I'm holding on to at $33.50. I do not know if it's going to go as high as $33.70. I also don't know if it's going to drop down back below 33.50. It remains to be seen what happens today. So I will give it a little bit more time and just relax and watch what happens. I just figured out where that extra money in my account trade balance came from. It came from interest earnings. $20.54, another one for 1 cent, and that must have been from trade capital actually sitting as cash in my account back when I had trade capital at my disposal sitting there in my account. That's pretty good considering the money is just sitting being unused. And that isn't even for a full month. That is only for the time that I had it sitting available to trade with. So that's one of the benefits of being over the $100,000 mark with Wealthsimple overall is they started giving me 4.5% interest just on my cash sitting idle. Now, if you think about what you get in a bank, you'd be lucky to get 0.01%, let alone 4.5%. I'm definitely keeping my money in my broker. Still waiting on my limit sell of $33.70 to sell today. And I'm feeling a bit optimistic, like it might actually happen. It might take the rest of the afternoon, but it's likely to happen. We've been hovering now around an average of $33.60 for the past 45 to 60 minutes. The through line here seems to be 33.60, which is better than back here where it used to be around 33.50. So overall, the market has slightly nudged its way up about 10 cents per share. I'm still hoping that before the end of this day is finished, I can earn 20 cents on my one share of AI and at least accomplish one profitable trade today. So 20 cents per share on a value of 33.50, well, that's more than 0.5 of one, that's more than 0.5%. 33.50 would be 1%, so half of that would be 17 cents. So 20 cents would be just over half of 1%. So after sitting and waiting most of the afternoon, we had a late afternoon rally. Look at that. It went from pissing around at around $33.60, shot up to a high of $33.81, which means that my one single share of AI sold at $33.70. We can see that here, $33.70. So I can log that as a win for the day, $33.70. And of course, that gives me a whopping 0.20 cents on a share. And that looks like it's all I'm going to get. But the good news is it unlocks my capital again and gives me my full capital capacity back for the day, which is currently sitting at $106.75. It's enough to purchase 3 shares of AI. It's not quite enough to purchase 4 shares. I need another $30 in order to do that. But being able to purchase 3 shares is better than being able to purchase 2 shares, considering what I'm trying to do with dollar cost averaging right now. So what I'm going to do is, now that my share is sold, I'm going to get rid of this line that I drew earlier today, and I'm going to wait until tomorrow. Now tomorrow, I'm going to come back first thing in the morning and I'm going to go back to my regular routine of looking at seeing if there is a way that I can capitalize on a sell-off first thing in the morning, and then buy at least 1 share, maybe 2 shares and then try to dollar cost average one of my higher shares with it and close it on one of these upward swings and see if I luck out. And like I said, even if I can unlock one single share that's currently captive, that gives me more flexibility, because then I can purchase up to 4 shares instead of 3 shares at a time. And that means that in order to get the next share of $35.46 unlocked, I can actually leverage 4 shares low cost versus 1 share $35.46 to get the dollar cost average even lower. So it should be even easier to get 1 more share back. And then when I've got 5, I can leverage 5 against 1. When I've got 6, I can leverage 6 against 1. I can do all kinds of things the more capital that I recover. Now, let's go to shares of AMD and keep an eye on what is going on here. AMD has been slowly gaining over and over the day. We're up to 111.47 a gain from a low value today of 105.43. So congratulations, AMD. AMD has crawled up $6 per share over the day. And had I not bought in my shares of AMD so high at 112.29, I could have made a pretty decent return on a share of AMD today. So my shares of AMD, I am still waiting to let these go, again, to break even and get my capital back at this point. So I've got those 18 shares on sale at 112.31. Now, once I unlock a couple of shares of AI, I will have enough in my trade balance to consider doing something similar in unlocking one of my shares of AMD. If I was able to buy a share of AMD around 105, 106 today, I could have easily dollar cost averaged at least 1 share that I'm holding on to out at a healthy profit between the 2 of them as well. So unlocking 1 share of AMD is worth $110 or $112. Unlocking 1 share of AI is only worth $35. So as the week progresses, I'm hoping to regain more and more and more of my capital. That being said, if AMD has a good afternoon here in the last 30 minutes of the day, what is my buy-in again? 112.29. It is possible that AMD might actually crawl up to close my position before the end of this day. But if not the end of this day, likely early tomorrow morning, I might be able to get out of my position with AMD and have that capital back in order to use to leverage more of my shares of AI to get my capital back. Because at this point, I want to start massively recovering my capital. I want to get $20,000 to $30,000 of my capital back in my trade account, where it is safe, where I have more control over what I do with it, and where I'm not subject to the whims of the market being slow or down or whatever. I want to get back to making money, because when I'm making money, I was doing pretty good for my first couple of weeks in having my capital to deploy. I was hitting $4,000 weeks, and last week I didn't even break $100. And this week, so far today, I've made 20 cents. So not the best days to see me in what I do, but I'm not shaken by that, because I know that I'm going to get back on track and I'm going to start having significant gains added to my trade balance every day. And I will move forward with my goal. So, lousy week last week. This week looks like it's shaping up to be a little bit better. Shares of AMD are climbing up. Shares of AI as well are climbing up. We're up 2.4% over today's open. And I don't know how that fares against yesterday's close. I'm not quite sure what we closed at yesterday. Looks like around 32.94. So again, we're up over yesterday's close, so that's good so far. That's a good day for AI. We're down to the last 32 minutes. I will patiently wait the last 32 minutes of the day, hoping that my share of AMD, my position in AMD, might actually close. Again, we are still ticking and trending up, slowly but surely. AMD is pushing 111.50 now. And come on, AMD, keep rallying up. Do a late day push right through 112.29, right through 112.31, and release my capital back. That would be a very good close to this day, because then I know I can come back tomorrow with $2,000 worth of fresh capital to begin playing in the AI space to unlock my shares. So yeah, I will sit here patiently waiting for AMD to crawl up and close at over 112.31 today. Stay tuned. We still have 31 minutes left in the day. We'll see how this day finishes. All right, I am back to check the end of the day on the markets. Let's go take a look at what has happened. Now we can see, okay, shares of AI had a very strong run today, as did shares of AMD. I have positions in both of these companies. So I'm looking at what's happened throughout the day, and there's a couple of good things about what I've seen today. Yes, there was not a lot of volatility, but unlike last week, shares of AI, they did not dip very low this morning at all. And they just started an upward climb. They went up a little bit and then they went sideways most of the afternoon, with a late afternoon rally pushing them up to a current value of 33.89. That indicates a good sign. I mean, we have been watching shares of AI crash for the past 6 to 7 days from a high of 44.75. And when I see this kind of solid activity with no volatility at all, just solid holding all the way through the day, it indicates to me that we are getting ready on a firm foundation to begin another upward trend. And I am here ready to capitalize on that movement. Again, shares of AMD look like they have done almost the same thing, except in AMD's case, it has not just simply moved sideways. It has been slowly progressing. And look at where it's at right now. At the last minute of the day, the last 45 seconds, it is blazing a trail up higher and higher, 111.91. Oh my goodness. We are in, like currently we are 30 cents per share away from my close on the position that I have. If I come back tomorrow morning and shares of AMD have rallied up in pre-market, I'm gonna cancel my sell limit order on AMD and try to ride it probably for tomorrow a little bit and see if I can make $1 or $2 per share on AMD. I may just be able to make a profit, but look at it, trying to go past $112 today. Ooh, just about made it too. 111.98, and then the market shut off, and that is all that the day wrote for it. And shares of AI closed at 33.86. That is all for today. I made a grand total of 20 cents on one of my shares, but I'm feeling pretty good about the overall performance of today. I know that it was a slow day and that I did not get a lot done as far as active trades go, but it's okay. I'm shifting gears and I am focusing on regaining capital, regaining financial strength so that I can take full advantage of an upward trend in the markets over the next 2 to 3 weeks and hopefully longer. So thank you for hanging out with me today. You have been watching my $1 million journey. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not posting these videos as any indication of financial advice. You are responsible for your own financial decisions. I'm just here to show you what I'm doing and hopefully to inspire you to be able to think more creatively when it comes to your financial wealth and how to create it. So if you're tuning into this series, I really appreciate if you like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and keep coming back session after session in order to watch how I get myself out of the tight spot that I'm in. I am in the tightest spot right now that I've been in since I began these videos. And I know it and I feel it, but I'm still here. And I'm going to continue commitment to posting my content, even on days like today when there's not a lot going on. You know what? If I understand if you have to tune out of the video because there's not a lot of stuff going on, I get it. But it's not going to be like this every day. I promise you. We are going to see days of massive dynamic volatility happening again very soon. And on those days, it's going to be a heck of a lot more exciting to see what is going on. So thank you again. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you again tomorrow on Tuesday for session 13. And you can join me in that session right over here.